Does this one line from Gojo about Hanami imply the existence of an entire other class of spirit in JJK? Let's talk about it. All right, first of all, shout out to CQ who asked me about this today and just wanted my opinion or my headcanon on just what the hell this statement implies. And here Gojo is talking about Hanami. He says, it has a peculiar presence. It's definitely a cursed spirit, but it's closer to a regular spirit or natural spirit, depending on what translation you read. And so, what does that mean? What's a natural spirit in the world of JJK? Let's just think about this, right? A natural spirit or a regular spirit seems as if it's being presented as the antithesis of a cursed spirit, right? Like its natural opposite. So, what are cursed spirits? Well, in JJK, we know that they are spirits born of cursed energy born of negative emotions. And the way they come together is by the eventual coalescing of enough cursed energy surrounded around a certain thing that eventually manifests. And in the case of the disaster curses, it's the ultimate manifestation of the fear of fire in the earth, water, nature, and humans in general, right? So if those are cursed spirits, then perhaps a natural spirit would be one born from positive cursed energy or positive emotions. And if that type of spirit exists, then it honestly would make sense that Gojo would draw the comparison to Hanami because of what Hanami did to him. If you recall, Hanami created this entire field of flowers which basically diffused Gojo's fighting instinct. It allowed him to be distracted long enough that Hanami could swoop in and save Jogo. So this pleasant feeling, getting rid of your hostile emotions would probably be something a positive cursed spirit would do. So is that what this line is implying? That there do exist natural, good cursed spirits out there that are basically the antithesis of cursed spirits? And in my opinion, no. Primarily because nothing else ever came of this ever again, right? And if there really were these positive cursed spirits meant to be within the world and the lore and the world building, I think we would have seen more from it. Now, maybe it was an idea that Gege was playing with back then and then abandoned, but I don't even think it was that. Because in addition to it never showing up again, it also just doesn't make sense within the lore as it's been established, at least in my opinion. Because again, cursed spirits are born of cursed energy, which is born of negative emotions, right? So if positive cursed spirits exist, then it should follow that they were born of positive cursed energy. But positive cursed energy is not born of positive emotions. So every human on the planet is producing cursed energy all day, every day. Only sorcerers are producing positive cursed energy, and only 1% of them are doing it. And also, when it comes to cursed spirits, they are born of the cursed energy that normal humans are leaking, right? So even if we want to take into account all of the sorcerers that are capable of producing RCT, they're not just emanating that energy out into the wild to go potentially coalesce into a spirit, because they're using that energy. So in my opinion, those types of spirits can't exist, and therefore that's not what Gojo is referring to in this comparison with Hanami. So then, what is he referring to? And for my money, he's just referring to a natural spirit in the same way someone from our world might, aka the kami from Japanese folklore, because as we know, JJK is basically based upon the real world, but just with this cursed energy power system injected into it, right? We know that a lot of JJK was inspired by real world religion and myths. So I think this is simply an allusion to that, just a natural spirit that somebody might worship or pray to or something of the like, but not an actual entity within the power system that is equivalent to a cursed spirit. Now, could you just say tomato, tomato to some extent, and that if those kami actually do exist in JJK, then maybe they are spirits comprised of positive cursed energy? And maybe, right? But in that case, I would assume that their creation was due to some other divine being or worship or something, right? And not necessarily meant to be this equivalent or mirror to cursed spirits. I just don't think there's an entire class of entity out there that was roaming around JJK that just was never interacted with. I think it was more so just Gojo making a comment like a real world person would.